Welcome to Jay and Clips. I'm Jarrett McIntyre, and I attempt to do movie reviews here on YouTube. Now today, this isn't a good look. I'm holding the phone here with my hand, and I'm gonna do a one take because I'm at the point in life where if you don't just do your hobbies like this any way you can, I'm not gonna do them. I'm fresh out of the movie theater and out of the IMAX, in fact, to see Sinners. Is that gonna focus on it? So I just saw Sinners. It's a Ryan Coogler film, obviously starring Michael B. Jordan. This was impressive. This was very impressive. Were there things I didn't like? Yes. But that is a very small portion of the film. I'm the nerd that I take for the right movies. I'll take a little notebook and I'll take notes in it. So starting off the bat, beginning scene with the cigarette. So as you know, Michael B. Jordan plays both Smoke and Stack in this movie. By the way, there will be spoilers in this. But they use some special new tech to do the whole double pairing. You have Michael B. Jordan as both characters in the same frame, moving, interacting, and handing things to each other. The first of which was I believe Stack handing Smoke a cigarette or lighting it and handing it to him, and it was just it's impressive. Filmmaking wise, it's impressive. So that was really cool to see. Let's see here. Twin splitting. So watched an interview with Ryan Coogler before this movie, and he said that for Michael B. Jordan to help him get into both characters, right, he got him a twins consultant. I guess from the area that he's from, his words not mine, kind of just some hood white guys that were twins. And so he invited them over as kind of like a pre-interview before they met Michael B. Jordan. And he noticed that they were sitting really close together, like touchable close. And he asked them, "Is that for me or is that for you?" And they said, "This is for you. This is to help you out." You know what I'm saying? And so they kind of dug into that, and they said that whenever they have beef with somebody, they'll start splitting off and putting distance between themselves, and it kind of makes whoever it is kind of have to look both ways, this and that. There's no beef, they stay together. And you see that in the movie. So right when Smoke and Stack are buying the sawmill, right, they're talking to the obviously racially biased owner/seller. There's a little bit of tension there in that exchange, and they immediately split off and kind of start walking around the gentleman, and just insane accuracy to, I guess, the kind of common experience of life. Through these several interviews, I guess kind of like people who grew up inner city or in the streets, there was kind of the neighborhood set of twins. And I guess this is common phenomenon and behavior for twins who grow up in a harsh environment. So that was sick. It was just a really good, also just attribute to the characters. So super cool. What else? Color of the hats. Smoke, just telling you right. Smoke wears the blue hat, and Stack wears the maroon hat. And I just thought it played well. Obviously, as you find out later in the movie, their fates are not necessarily, they don't choose their fates. One lives, one dies, and it's not like they chose right or wrong per se. But the colors seem to not play a nice sense of foreshadow. If you catch my drift, I kind of predicted, here's a big spoiler, click off if you haven't seen it. Or don't click off, but skip 10 seconds ahead. Smoke dies, or Smoke lives, and I could tell because his hat was blue instead of red. Very cool. Okay. What else? Vampires, the whole vamp thing, dude. The first half of this movie was just setting up a really good drama piece. Very good drama piece, and it was super impressive. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Yo, how can we make this whole world even better and grittier?" Vampires. And I gotta say, as a vampire lover and a horror lover, and I can geek out about it, they treated the vampire lore well. A big part of the story was the idea that vampires have to be invited into a house, or into a humble abode, if you will. And so vampires, in case you don't know, cannot just come into someone's house. They have to be invited in. And that was a big part of the story, big vetting process for them to see who and who is not, a vampire. So I just thought, hey, thanks for sticking to the vamp vibes accurately. I appreciate it, Ryan Coogler. Sam, brother, the guy that played Sam, I'm going to put his name right here, because I was watching Jeremy John's review of this movie, and I'm pretty sure this is his only IMDb listing, meaning his first feature. Bro killed it. He carried the weight. Not only the music. The music is everything in this movie. If you watch Ryan Coogler, music is the inspiration of this movie, or watch his interviews. But literally, practically, poetically, cinematically, any way, the music is this movie. And that was like all on his shoulders, and he carried it well. Acting performance was phenomenal, but his ability to sell the fact that he's this guy that wants to play and make music for a living, and his father would call that sinful, and he's trying to wrestle with that dilemma, and he pulls it off, both the music and the performance. So props to him. Let's see here. Yeah, so a couple things just score-wise. Again, spoilers, but at the end of the movie, when all the vamps are coming towards the house, they're singing the song, and it was a cappella, a cappella. But it was just so good. Very, I don't want to say, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Anyways, it sounded haunting, it sounded creepy, it was fire. There was also the scene at the end where Sam is fighting Stack up top, and Sam's girl goes, and she becomes a vamp. They put in some classic horror in there, like the classic horror notes and sounds, and some instrumentals, and that was much appreciated. Just from, how are we going to have a vampire movie and not have some classic, to go in there, you know what I'm saying? Sorry for geeking and just being awkward there. Anyways, last comment that I want to comment on. This is just good story writing. Fantastic story writing. There is a moment where Sam is about to be taken by the main vampire, and he doesn't end his predicament, but he delays it and stalls it by reciting the Lord's Prayer. This is so good in so many ways. One, the Lord's Prayer starts, Our Father in Heaven. The only reason Sam knows to pray this prayer is because his father is a pastor. And Sam kind of carries the balance and the moral, he is the moral seesaw, if you will, of the movie. His father is a pastor and wants him to give up this wild chasing lifestyle. His cousins are these gangsters of rumored to go off to Chicago and work for Capone, and now they have this money and they're back down in the South. And so the twins kind of carry this rebellious stature about them, and Sam's father is like this moral good, give it all to the Lord mentality, and he's somewhere in the middle, and he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know who he wants to be, and he starts praying this prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, and he only knows that because of his father, and it's the very thing that kind of delays the moment out. And so it was just so good. It was just so good. Kind of gave it that patriarchal. Well, if you watch the whole movie, Sam breaks the patriarchy lineage, if you want to call it that. Patriarchy. He breaks the paternal chain of choosing the straight and narrow, if you want to call it that. Or that's subjective. It can be interpreted both ways. But yeah, it created that sense of father to son and this lineage that I think the movie was really playing on, a sense of lineage, right? Ancestors and And yeah. So, hey, it was a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. What did I not like about it? What did I not like about it? If we go to not the very end of the movie, but spoiler, big spoiler. Skip ahead 15 seconds if you don't want to hear this. At the very end, Smoke kind of just clears out all the like racist white guys that sell them the mill, and they're coming to take it back. The racism, the racially charged storyline obviously isn't my issue. It's just like, that was the moment where I'm like, okay, this is agenda. You know, the whole movie felt agenda free, and I was vibing pretty hardcore. That was the moment I'm like, okay, why are we like? It just seemed like also like a break of character. Like obviously, there's some racial tensions in the movie, and that's just historical accuracy. No problem there, right? But Smoke and Stack were there to make some money, and they were kind of done wrong by the vampires, not by this racially charged collection of people. And so that just felt like, oh wait, I thought the problem was the vamps, not the, you know what I'm saying? It's not. It's the only part of the movie I felt agenda. So I just, practically speaking, felt like cheap story writing. Other than that, movie is fantastic. It's not gonna, for my parents out there, there's a couple scenes, not kid friendly movie, but it's also not your total double rated R craziness. So there's some profanity, some scenes that aren't revealing but are pretty clear what's going on, and yeah. But other than that, cinematically, storytelling, everything, vampires, it's a solid film. Thank you, Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, and everyone else involved. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Go and watch more movies.